I'm alive. Yay!
Hello.
Hello.
We're live. The characters might not be.
Oh
Hey,
my.
spoilers, spoilers,
Hey, it's not
spoilers.
Mm,
What?
you
What?
don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a very interesting episode.
As I explained to someone previous, like the other day, about like running the live sound in these things. By the way, we're using Syrinscape sound because that's amazing, and we have a full bred campaign of sound for Master Nyarlathotep from Syrinscape. They've got other campaigns and lots of other bits and pieces. Check them out at syrinscape.com. So that's my segue to that. But anyway, as I explained to someone the other day about the Syrinscape and doing the live mixing, I get some hints about other things that are going on in the backgrounds or things we haven't said. So we're in the Juju house. There's other things in the Juju house, which like other sound sets in the Juju house, which like, oh, what's a chimba? I won't ask. I'll just find out when I need to press that button. So Chimba Battle was there, ready to be pressed. So you get some ideas sometimes, but no spoilers, never. That's why I play dumb characters, so I can't accidentally give out spoilers.
Also, you do have spoilers. I didn't know that.
It's. I
I
get
better
it.
I better keep myself from reading your mind then, because it's not safe.
Just a little bit, just from the audio. But hi, welcome back. We're here. So we have Soundscape. We also have Lovecraft Maps or Love Maps Cthulhu. They do amazing VTT versions of the maps you get in the Call of Cthulhu Master Nyarlathotep. They're optimized for that. The Love Maps Cthulhu have donated their maps for us to use on this channel for the show. Thank you so much. They're not a sponsor, but they've done an amazing thing by donating their amazing, huge repository of maps. Repository.
Repository is slightly different.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah, period. It is for the 1920 period, so mostly phased out these days. That's about it. You can also donate it. Every donation you do to us gives us benefits like luck or sanity if you subscribe. Or if you give subscribe, we also get the option of an experience point tick. Hopefully we might actually get to use one of those at some point. But luck really does help us out. And some of us have spent a lot of luck just to get to this point here. Let's do our intros. Drakonyan?
Hi, I'm Drakonyan. I'll be playing Professor Sean McEoghan, a linguistics professor from the University College of Dublin, who came here to help an old pen pal that, recently died, and asked me to help not only translating an ancient tome, but also trying to help these guys solve some strange loose ends regarding the Carlisle expedition. And so I'm here still trying to find myself before I can actually help them for real.
Okay. Aeon.
Hi there, I'm Eon. I'm playing Sidney Tyson, crime lord, archaeologist. She's got a very busy resume who's wanting to avenge a friend's death before she retires from the supernatural side of the business.
Okay. Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Phoenix playing Alejandro Garcia, who's not really done much this last episode, just kind of sat around, let things happen.
Yeah, right. Hi, my name's Karsh Goblin. I play Sergeant Jack Hunt, who is the brain. No, I'm not the brains of the operation, but I finally was the brawn of the operation. Finally, I actually shot things, but shot things, and with a bit of a fright and a bit of a spook, I've psychosomatically lost all control of my arm. Well, it's coming back now, but it was a bit hard to pump my shotgun. So I was throwing it to Loretta Miller, who is not here unfortunately, but is here in spirit. The whole thing. MrLiveProducer.
Yeah, yes, I'm MrLiveProducer. I am your keeper for this evening. And it's going to be an interesting episode this week, I reckon. So if anyone else has anything else, have you gone through you've done the luck, you've done that. We are using X card system.
Yeah.
Again, just a heads up, this episode may contain dismembered limbs and other assorted dismembered items.
Yeah.
So again, just a heads up.
That's not just for us. We've already got that warning. That's also for you.
Yes.
Your discretion is advised.
This is Eldritch Horror, and sometimes it can be gruesome. Just a heads up.
Yes. And since I didn't have the time to do a lot of the other stuff I wanted to do tonight, but nonetheless, let's start the game. Open up my notes. Okay. As our investigators approached the Juju house, the roads were closed by the police and Lieutenant Poole, so that when they stormed the Juju house, there was a lack of civilian casualties, which helped with lucky positioning, lucky crits, and a series of actions that seemed serendipitous. The investigators made it through to the cellar and cleared it of occult influence, of zombies, and the two leaders of the New York chapter of the Bloody Tongue were removed, shall we say, from influence. Mostly by bullets.
Is there a lot of other ways to remove cult figures that don't involve bullets?
Tax evasion?
Yes, I'll take that.
I tried. I did suggest the whole
yeah.
tax evasion, the booze and the liquor, but no.
The problem is they had no booze, they had no liquor. They just had a series of 4 animated zombies and other items in the alcove. And
Yeah, maybe we should have called the police, claiming that.
And to the right, a suspiciously covered pit.
Something.
Okay. From the top of the Juju house, you hear Loretta Miller going, not hear Loretta, you hear, what's the name of Quezel's character again?
May. Jeana-Mae.
Jeana-Mae. Jeana-Mae says, Loretta, could you come up here, please? And we move Loretta off the table. Because her character's not here today, so we're just doing a shift. Okay. So it's just Sean McEoghan, Sidney Tyson, Sergeant Jack Hunt, and Alejandro Garcia, who is suspiciously next to a covered pit.
Well, if Sydney's still somewhat close to that alcove, she'd want to go and take a look inside of it.
Okay. Is anyone else joining them?
No, Sydney can sacrifice herself for herself. If you find anything useful, just tell us. If you find anything that's going to kill us, that's also important to tell us too.
No, you know what? I figured that after we had the 4 raging zombies try and kill us, that today seemed like a good day to die, Jack.
No.
So, is there anything in this little alcove that...
Oh, as you look into the alcove, there is a multitude of items.
Oh, lovely.
The alcove is about 1.8 meters or 6 feet square, and as you pull back the curtain, along each side of the wall of the alcoves, there was positions where 2 Simbas stood, which you have now destroyed, but their stench, their smell is still there. And as you're looking through the alcove, you would see a little, not like a little bundle, a leopard's hide wrapped around what looks like a few items in the back left corner. You also see some priest robes and what looks to be, on close inspection, lion claws hanging on the peg on the rear wall, along with a very, very out of place, modern looking chronometer situated above them.
Okay. We have some interesting things here, and correct me if I'm wrong, chronometers are big, right?
Yeah, they are massive.
Jack, I think we might need... well, it's an open curtain.
On the curtain
Jack,
itself.
we might need your help with that bit. I'm gonna take the leopard skin out because it stinks in here. But the chronometer, do you mind carrying it out? It's a bit heavy.
So you just want me for my muscles?
I want you here for your muscles, yes. I don't...
No, it's not going to happen between us. I'm sorry. There's nothing between us. As I take out the chronometer and drag it into the center area.
Okay. As you pick up the chronometer...
As Sidney is now trying for brain bleach.
As you do. As you pick up the chronometer, it is heavy. It is massive. It is unwieldy. As you move it into the room with more light, you actually see that it doesn't actually give you the time here. It's 4 hours ahead.
I think this is broken.
Oh, it is not broken.
Well, it's not right.
But if it's
It's
4 hours
synchronized
ahead,
to a different
yes, it's
land.
to give you time in a different part of the world.
Then how can that's broken then? It's not until
Anyone
right time.
who wants to...
I actually pull
rolls
out my
me-
watch. I check my watch and it's like, it is absolutely wrong. It is...
Jack, aren't you Australian?
Sorry, what was that?
Aren't you Australian?
Yeah.
Australia... Is it 10 a.m. in Australia when it's 10 a.m. in New York?
I don't know. But I'm saying right now that that is wrong.
It is wrong for New York time. You are correct on that. Let's leave it be because it might have been set wrong intentionally.
But it's wrong.
Okay.
So?
I start how do I change this clock? And I start trying to... If there's a way of opening it to try or a dial or something.
Not easily. It's actually... I would say it's actually be locked. Because it's a marine it's a marine device, so there's a lot of security on it because most ships use it to help with their navigation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very secure. If this thing breaks or this thing's on the wrong time, it can be a very, very big issue for a boat.
You know the description won't hold him for longer, right? It's like you're just telling him to play with it now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a gun. Sidney has found we don't have a Loretta, so you need to use Plan B.
No, I have a glowing knife.
Which
You do. I can also give you nightmares. I mean, there's a lot of options we have here for PvP, but I don't think they're good ones. And destroying a clue sounds like a very dumb move.
Yep. So anyone who wants to roll me intelligence or or an education check.
There we go.
Yeah.
Whew, close.
Jack, this is actually the time that's in England at the moment.
In
So
Dublin?
Yep, it is currently set to GMT time. For all the world traveled amongst you, you understand that this is set to GMT.
Well, Jack only remembers it because he had to change his watch 4 hours when he came here, only a few weeks ago. But it's wrong. We need to change it back.
Yep. Okay, so that's that.
I'm going to actually ask a question for Karsh about Jack. Jack had to be on boats while he was serving in the military, right?
Yeah, but that's not serving. That's just passing time.
I more mean Jack would have at least heard from the sailors, probably seen this giant clock thing and the importance of not changing it.
Oh no, you don't speak to the sailors. They're Navy. You don't speak to the white guys. No. The Navy, they no. Army, Navy, you just don't mix.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't happen. There's no fraternizing. There's no talking. They do their job. They keep you on top of the water, not underneath it. We're the ones that do the fighting.
I can't wait to introduce Jack to a submarine. Just to watch that, just to see that thought. The Navy keeps you above the water. Dives. Sidney will bring out the leopard skin and like start unwrapping it to see what's in there.
All right. Before we do that, is anyone else staying inside of the alcove looking at the robes or the claws?
I was going to, but then Jack started moving something big out of it. And, you know, I'm more interested in that big stone over there.
Sidney
also,
will go
I would
back
like
for
to
it
mention-
after, but
That I
Okay.
would have, at all times, of course, kept track of the time back home to know when to send a telegram to my fiance if it ever becomes necessary.
Yep. So you would understand that again. This is the time in Dublin as well. Hopefully. My time region for that area is horrible.
well,
You would also notice a long feathered shawl of a shimmering color
oh,
and a series of what looks like lion claws, but they're actually fashioned so that the inside of the claw is hollow and can actually be
So
used as
com-
weapons.
So like fingernails, finger extensions.
like claws,
As
like a
in,
glove. Yeah.
like a glove, a lion claw glove. Something very, very chic, but you would assume it would do a bit of damage if you use it as a weapon.
I can't imagine why somebody would have that. Is there
Alejandro,
anything?
Have you got any of those? That'd work well for you. Oh no, sorry. Might be a bit personal.
Jack, did you? Oh dear. Why are you messing with that, by the way?
Look, I just want to get this open and just.
Jack, do you know how to change it without breaking it?
I'm sure I can figure it out.
No.
It's just a
no,
clock.
No,
It's a heavy
not.
one.
It's a very precise marine instrument. Are you in the Navy?
We've gone through this. No.
No. You're not from the Navy, so don't mess with Navy tools.
It's not,
It's not
a
just
tool,
a
it's
clock.
a clock. It's a broken
Have
clock.
you ever built
Karsh?
a clock?
Drop it, please.
Have I been to clock?
Built.
No.
Sydney will like move the chronometer away from the front of Jack just so he can't play with it, and then roll the leopard skin out in front of him instead.
Okay, as you roll the leopard skin in front of you, there's actually a series of like little possessions or little items, like a mask, a book, another thicker mask, another copper bowl, head like what looks like a headband, a cash box, and I think that's about it. Plus a very very smelly leopard's hide.
I
With
start,
a bit of
you-
mildew on it.
I
You
start
know you said the
sketching.
magic word, right? You said the magic word. You said book.
Yes, I did
I'm
say book.
hooked.
Yep. Sydney will move the book aside and go for the cash box first, just to see. Normally, when somebody has a locked box or a closed box, they're holding something important in it.
It doesn't really look that sturdy. I think with a well placed hit or with some lockpicking tools, you'll be able to unlock it.
Yep. Sydney has lockpicking tools, so
Okay, well, roll me that lockpicking check.
Should be easy enough.
Oh,
Ha.
with even just a deft look, you see that it's a wafer lock. You just put it in. You go. You give your resistance a 1, 2 is binding, and click. It opens. Inside the little box, let's have to bring up this information.
While you do that, I'm sketching
You're sketching what?
the clock.
Okay.
If they won't let me touch it, I can at least draw it.
that's very helpful.
you-
Thank you.
Do you draw it with the original with the correct time, or with the time that you?
I'll draw it with the time that's on it, but I'll say that it's broken and it should be here. So I'll point
Fair
out
That is
it's broken.
incredibly helpful, actually, in all honesty.
Jack, is the time accurate?
Again, take out my watch. No, it's not. It's broken.
I mean, the minutes. Are the minutes accurate?
Hmm.
Okay. Inside this lockbox are various pieces of jewelry and personal items taken from people. It's a whole series of mismatched jewelry, like keepsakes, or another way of saying it would be trophies.
Yep. Is
They
there
are
any
very
wallets or identification in there?
No wallets or identification, but there's like a beautiful wedding ring in there, which is very unique. There are items in
Jack.
there that if you bring to the police
Mhm,
would
no,
help
that's-
answer a lot of questions.
I see. So, Jack and Professor, I believe this will solve the legal issues you were looking for. I don't believe that it's normal for people to keep trophies of dead people. And these have been added to since our friend was put in jail.
When you say that, it's not normal to keep trophies of dead people. I start looking at my wedding ring from my former.
I'll rephrase. The police don't like it whenever you find a box full of dead people's belongings, and they tend to believe that you found the killer.
I think it would be best if we left that here.
Potentially. I was going to ring Lieutenant Poole and ask how he'd prefer it be dealt with. Can be anonymously dropped to the station, or...
If we leave it here, then it's connected to this building.
Yes,
rather than
that's what I
just
said. I'm just going to ask
randomly
him his
appearing.
preference. Fair
Yes.
enough. Oh, I need to get that revolver back from Loretta. But, for the rest
All
of
right.
these, that bowl looks familiar, doesn't it? I think we found another one upstairs.
Where is... There you are. Drakonyan, if you look in appendix down the bottom, there will be an appendix section. In items or tomes, there'll be a book there.
Mm-hmm.
You see it?
Wait, is it?
I'll
Under
go
C,
to appendices,
appendix C, yeah.
tomes, America, and it should be in there.
All right.
If you
All
want
right.
to roll more if you want to get more information, please tell me. I've just given you
Yeah.
the base information for the book.
Yeah, because the first thing that I was going to do was to pick up the book and start analyzing it, and this, at the very least, rings familiar. So, what kind of check can I do here to properly,
To do an initial,
identify what I know about the book?
for initial reading, okay, this is going to be
This would normally be
Keep
library
asking
use.
me on library
Yeah,
use. Thank
library
you.
use. Library use is for anything to do with books, basically. Unless you're dealing with money trails, then it's accounting.
Okay, roll me a library use check, please.
Woo!
Oh, high success. Okay, then you get all this information.
Woot woot.
And could I get you to roll me a sanity check, please?
In this case, with pleasure.
Reading is bad in Cthulhu, just
It
in
is.
general.
To be fair, reading books you find in the dungeon of a cult hangout, that's normally when books are bad.
Oh, education.
Price of knowledge.
Okay,
Arcane, apocryphal knowledge.
you can add 2 to your Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh my, oh my.
And if you refresh it, you should get a bit more information about the book.
Yeah, but I'll disclose that later because we can just take the book with ourselves. I'm sure going to die for this book, but yeah, I'm gonna take the book with myself, and then I can explain to the rest of the party later on.
Yep. I mean, Sydney's grabbing the masks because they're... Can I get a closer look at them? Is there anything...
Oh, okay. The first
I'm
one
not going to put them on or anything. I just want to flip them over and examine them.
The first mask you grab is, best way to describe it is, how the rest of the cult members had like red ties or bloodied rags. This is an actual mummified tongue on this mask.
Lovely. Show it to the professor and Jack, going, so, correct me if I'm wrong, this does actually appear to be a tongue, doesn't it?
I'm no physiognomist.
It's a bit small for an ox
And
tongue.
I'll just look away.
Not an ox tongue, Jack, person. Yes, I'm trying to get me and Jack to have to roll sanity rolls.
Surprising enough, there's no sanity rolls for that tongue.
Fair enough.
All right.
Where does it appear to have been made? Sorry, would Sidney have any idea of that, or?
You would assume that it was fashioned here.
Okay. I just didn't know if there would be
However-
like an anthropology kind of or something like that could relate to it. So.
No, but if you roll me a science, botany, or a hard natural roll, at the other mask that you see.
I will attempt. I am not good at natural world. Is anybody else?
Anyone else could roll for this one if they're in the area.
Alejandro is
World.
staying in the back of the room, so he's not actually looking at the stuff. He's mainly keeping an eye on the big capped hole in the ground.
Which
I
is
figured
probably
there's a
good
rock
idea.
on it, and nobody else seemed. And the
there's
cultists
nothing-
seemed great.
Yeah.
Alejandro, this might be something that you might be able to help with. I'll protect the rock.
I'll take it.
hole
I'll
if
take
you
the other
want.
one over if you need. But
Or actually, if you roll me in archaeology, anthropology, you get some information as well.
okay. Well, I can do either of those. Let's try anthropology. Oh, how off is that?
We used up
is-
all of our good rolls last session.
I had an extreme
these-
success to start with.
These don't feel too important. Oh my god, we keep failing.
Sorry, math. That's 16, correct?
Yes.
16 off? I will
Yep.
spend 16 luck to make that a success.
Oh my.
Experience.
Are you that
It's- It's from the Congo. As you're looking through the mask, you realize that, wait, this has trademarks of African? And, this is the Congo area. It's a carved wooden mask with what looks like 4 hideous faces perched upon a thick corded neck with a basket-like reed, a feather, and a fabric collar that hides the wearer's face. And if I can
That's
find
interesting.
it,
We
like
didn't get
that.
it.
Oh. Yeah, Sydney's like carefully pulling it over and going, well, that's interesting.
Does anyone want to put it on? Or is anyone looking
I was about
at
to
the
say-
mask?
Why does it look like it's already on me?
Because that's the only artwork I have of this mask.
Alejandro will not put it on. He learned his lesson about putting them on, but he is looking at it.
Mm.
Sydney's not going to put it on right now, but she's more thinking of putting it on if we need to, whenever we're out.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the
So-
very idea of wearing the mask, I'll pick up my mother's rosary from my pocket and start, kind of rubbing it and
Sydney is going to comment, so this is quite interesting. We've been mostly dealing with people from Kenya. This is made from the Congo.
Is that near Kenya?
No, sort of. It's more central South Africa, where Kenya's more West Africa.
east.
East. I'm sorry. That is Eon screwing up where the cardinal directions are.
Yep. Could I get everyone to roll me a listening check, please?
Oh my. I mean, oh yeah, 100%.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
good.
god.
I heard nothing.
Even check. Yeah, we're no.
This-
Today is not beginning well.
Oh no, this is probably actually good.
Okay. And you've done all of that. Okay. You've done the scepter. Okay, and I think the only thing really left in there is what looks like a very, very muted grey metal headband or tiara.
Is there any inscriptions on it or anything like that?
If you look at it as the lights from the room flicker, you see a very, very small hint of runes on it.
Do I recognize them at all?
Roll me a Cthulhu Mythos check.
I have 0 in Mythos. I literally can't roll it.
How do you still have 0 in Mythos?
I honestly don't know.
You should always have 1 point in Mythos, I think. Is that correct?
No, you start with 0 and everyone
Okay.
goes down from your max sanity.
No, I
And
thought because you
somehow-
have 99 max sanity, which always
Right,
means you
but
have
it's
1 in
still-
Mythos.
But Mythos, until you've encountered until your mind has been corrupted by it, you start with 0 Mythos. It's the only skill you can't improve, and it's the only skill you can't put a tick into, and it's the only skill you start with 0 in.
Okay. Well, you can't roll, you can't do any
Nope.
identification of it.
Sydney has no idea.
I can try. Yeah, I was already going to anyway because I
Yeah.
keep looking for letters here and there since objects are not really my thing, but writing and spoken language as well. That's my jam.
And I can, if you want, I can sketch it.
Oh, come on! I was this close. Can I use luck for this?
Yeah,
Yes,
you can.
you
You
can.
can spend a luck point to
Oh,
succeed.
all right. I'm gonna spend 1 luck in this. Jeez.
All right, so just one off. That's hilarious. So as you pick up the headband, as you pick it up, your eyes flash for a moment, and you realize that these runic symbols are written in Senzar, Senzar. I'll say it again, Senzar. And you recall reading from another book that you've read that this is actually known as the lost language of Atlantis. All you have here is proof of the existence of Atlantis. But this headband is like, as you look through the text, you realize that this has protection like runes.
Do you say anything
Can
about
I-
it? Because
Yeah, I'm gonna hand it to. All the information is mine up to this point. I'm gonna hand it back to Sidney, and see. It's just superstitious. You can keep it.
Do you want me to sketch it?
might not be a bad idea.
I've sketched runes before.
And
just little pictures.
Since you succeeded in that mythos roll as well, I'll also give you this. It's related to Nodens, Nodens, which can protect against night gaunts.
Except I'm having a really hard time believing any of this because it's
Superstitious.
ancient literature and superstition. It's nothing. I mean, I know spells. I never seen one happen. It's like, yeah, old runes in a tiara, like,
Okay.
Right.
You poofed it. Fair
Right.
enough. All right, I'll strike through that. Okay, and that is all the items in the little leather leather wrap in the alcove.
So can I play with the clock anymore?
Can I get everyone to roll me a...
No? Damn.
Actually, Alejandro, since you're really close to that item, could I get you to roll me a listen check with advantage, please?
Do you want everybody else to still roll?
You can roll a listen check, but since Alejandro is close, they'll get an advantage on their roll.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a problem.
I got a hard. Sydney got an extreme.
Okay.
Do you want to spend the 4 left to
Ignorance is
here?
bliss.
Okay, so from the covered pit, you hear just a slight bit of "Help us" coming from the pit. We hunger
Sidney
so
is-
much.
Sidney is going to blink a little bit, look over at Jack and
What?
Sean, and then also look over to see if Alejandro, like seeing if anybody else is reacting to that. I'm going to probably regret asking this. Did anyone else hear that?
Si, senora.
Sidney is literally going to reach out, put a new clip in her gun, cock it, and then start approaching the well.
Oh, are we doing... start reloading the shotgun.
Yeah, no, if anybody's firearms are not loaded, I'd recommend that they be fully loaded.
Is there
What
something...
is this about guns?
The hole in the ground here that's covered under the rock, Alejandro and I just heard something say, "Help us."
Oh, then we should help them.
That's what we're going to
Should help
figure out
them.
if we should or not.
Going to take a flare out of my bag.
Jack, and this is not me just asking for the muscle. I think this is going to take a couple of us to open. Alejandro, instead of a flare, Sydney's actually going to toss you dynamite. One of the sticks of dynamite she has.
No.
Don't get those two mixed up. That happened back
This
in...
place is too closed. You're gonna kill us all.
You can put the rock back
No.
down.
There's people who need
Let's-
help down there, right?
We don't. We just had 4 zombies.
No.
We just had 4 walking corpses, and they have this with a giant rock
No.
attached to a pulley system.
No. Enough death.
I have the flare. I'm starting with the flare.
Yeah, don't get them mixed
Go for
up.
it.
That happened back in the war. It's not good. You
Sydney
never have
will-
both at the same time, ever.
That's right. Yeah, Professore. When Jack lifts the rock, throw the flare down there so we can see who's there.
It won't hurt anyone.
It's a
No, a
flare.
flare does not. It'll just be light.
Flare's light.
Good.
It'd be
one of
no
those
different
soap
than
flares.
shining a flashlight on them, really.
Okay, so I'll pick the flare
Yeah.
to be ready.
Yeah. Dynamite's like dynamite's pretty much the same. It's light, but a lot quicker.
And a lot less light and more bang.
No.
Very short.
There's light.
Very short.
Just a lot
period.
quicker. Flare long light. Dynamite short light.
It'd be kind of like trying to see down a dark passage using a gunshot. It's not a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I get Sean to roll me a spot hidden, please?
Fabulous. That left track
It
caught me off
just-
guard.
It just looks like a big giant stone. If you,
It is
as
a
you
big
run
giant
your-
stone.
As you run your hands across it, you feel some imperfections and rough little marks, but you don't really see anything different about it. Since you're so close as well, Alejandro, I'll get you to roll me a spot hidden as well, please.
Did Sydney estimate how heavy this rock is?
You would assume that the police system that's there, you would assume that it would only take maybe one person to fully move it. It's like a block and tackle system.
No, I know, but it's just Sydney's going like, if they have this set up and she's had to do some of the stuff with like,
if it drops, it would legitimately kill a person. It
oh
will
no, I know.
squish them.
Like, I
will
mean,
squish them like Wile E. Coyote would.
Which is fair. Sydney's question is more: does the weight seem excessive when it could be like a flat-lidded disc, as opposed to this? Like, how much extra weight is being put on as opposed to?
It's overly engineered to the point it is made to keep something out or keep something in.
Good. Sydney will slowly start cranking then.
Okay.
I'll hand a gesture to stop, and I'm gonna turn to Alejandro and ask, Alejandro, I was thinking, isn't the stone too big to fit through the doors? My thinking here is, what if the place was built on top of the hole?
Most likely.
Can't they just turn it sideways?
So the pit was here first.
Yes. We heard somebody say help us, and you asked me to open. You said to open it.
Continue.
Like, please decide one way or the other, because I do not think that what's in there is good. But any objections to me opening it still?
Yeah, but do it anyway.
I mean, you could crank it instead, Jack. Then you're not next to the pit.
As soon as I can, I want to close my eyes and toss the flare.
Okay, Alejandro, could I get you to roll me a spot hidden, please, while they're doing that?
Okie dokie.
Okay, because I also need to move to my map layer.
Okay.
Which I can never find spot hidden. There it is.
So, knife or shotgun? Knife or shotgun?
As the stone... That was phone. As the stone is coming up, you notice that written around it is like what looks like a triangle with an eye in the middle, all etched inside of it. On the stone. And as the rock goes up, let's move that to the token layer.
What horrors await us? See, I'm pretty sure it's not people, just so the audience knows, just only on the basis that the rock seems excessive. If it's people in there, my excitement is gone.
Okay, so...
Is it like the Eye of Ra, where it's the right side
like
up pyramid, not the upside down?
No, it's like a triangle with an eye in the middle. It's...
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like the Eye of Ra. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm just going to move Sean Scene out of the way, because otherwise you're going to have this big giant stone on top of you, and if it drops, it's going to kill you.
Is there like a lock in place, or does Sidney have to be like actively holding the...
Oh, no, you would see that there's a metal bar that if you slide it through, would actually hold it at that point.
So yeah, once it's fully up, Sidney's going to lock it in place and say, well, don't go underneath it, but we should be clear. Now, does anybody else hear the help us or anything like that now that the pit's open?
It sounds like a series of discordant voices. Male, female, young, old.
If they were trafficking people on top of all of this, I can't bring them back to life to shoot them again, but I'd like to.
Well, like I said, as soon as I could, I would have, tossed the flare inside and turned my head to not look into the pit.
As you throw the flare down inside of it, you see a hint of a face. You see another face. And as the flare tumbles through the pit, It looks like, well, for those who can see,
Sidney's not over there yet, so
That's all me.
And it's a big hole. Come on, you can see something.
that is what you see inside of the pit.
Close it. Close it.
I really hate to ask this. How deep is the pit?
Let's have a look. I just need to check.
Is it at least 10 feet deep?
Well, the thing is a size build of 4. A build of 4 is twice human size, as all the way I've described it. I'd say between 15 to 20 feet. It's
Good.
made for someone to not come up. And as the stone is coming up, the creature inside sees the light and starts emerging. And
Sydney is
everyone
gonna-
looking at it sees this erupting from the hole in the ground.
Well,
Is
glad I'm
anybody
not
directly
looking
under the
then.
pit?
Pardon?
Is anybody directly like under the rock right now?
Nope.
If you drop it right now, I would actually ask Sheen and Alejandro to do a dex check
okay.
to try to escape it. But before
Okay.
that, I would like everyone who is seeing this
Which
to
is
roll
all of
a.
us.
Then, if you're not looking, you have to roll a dex check with disadvantage, please.
Okay.
Well, Sydney hasn't had the chance to see if she's insane or not, so she can act, but that is a success. Oh,
Mhm.
hey, we have same sanity, Alejandro.
Will disadvantage do anything here?
It
Well,
could make it, unfortunately, a critical fail, so yes.
Oh, now I gotta do the dex, right?
Yes, please.
That is a critical
That's
fail
a critical fail.
at 98. Sydney
Why
has
did
not
you have to
dropped
drop the
stone
thing?
Yet. I haven't!
Haven't yet. There's a. You dropped the camera, not the stone. There's a difference. The camera is lighter.
I mean, I'm honestly saying this would probably be getting the heck away from this thing that just came out of the pit.
Well, it's starting to come out of the pit. I would say you have 1 or 2 rounds for it to fully leave, but this gives you a more good example about what's inside the pit.
Yep. The reason why I was asking if it was out of the pit yet is because Sydney is walking forward with the dynamite.
It's not out of the pit yet. It's getting out of the pit. You have, I would say, 1 to 2 turns before it's grotesque. It's horrible. It's not very fast.
Yep.
It has a move of 4.
I agree with Sydney. Jack gave me dynamite.
Well, Sydney gave you dynamite.
Okay. How can I perceive their reactions? Because I'm not looking, but what are they? What is the
Alejandro
rest
and Sydney are moving
saying?
forward with dynamite. Like
Yeah,
lighting
but
dynamite.
if I don't
and
see
moving
you,
it.
what
You
do
would
I
hear
know?
you would hear the hiss of the dynamite. You would hear people going, "Oh my god, what is that?"
What's
Yeah,
Jack doing,
that's
by the
enough for me to get away from the hole without looking back. I would say that at least.
Okay, if
'Cause
that's the
I knew
case,
something
then
bad was gonna be there.
I would let you keep the first roll, but keep the spend the luck if you want to succeed at dex check.
How much would I need? Wait,
Not
to
that much, like
succeed?
3. Yes,
Yeah,
to succeed
50.
the dex check.
58 to 55.
No,
3
I've
points.
said that. See, they heard. Yeah, so you need to spend 3 points to succeed the first check.
Okay. I do, cause I'm out of here, man. Like, no
Yeah.
way. Nope.
What is
I
Jack
didn't
doing out
want
of
to
curiosity?
look.
Shooting.
Much less am I going to, just lie around.
If we're in combat turn order now, we shall get that sorted.
I'm gonna
And,
make myself more tea.
That's a fair reaction.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
I'm going to
I
send
clicked
that
the wrong
to-
thing. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to just move that to the map layer so I can actually
Aha!
And just to put it on the layer, so move the object layer. There we go.
Lovely. I mean, I feel better. I didn't laugh about them being human trafficking victims. This is an eldritch monster. Made of people, but an eldritch monster.
Okay. Where's the character sheet? I'm going to try and find its dex. There we go. There you go. As I said, you don't have... sort by ascending, no, sort by descending. Okay, so Alejandro, your turn first.
Light. Toss.
Okay, throw me a throw check.
Alright.
Throw with advantage since you're pretty much dropping, but it's still technically a throw.
Okay, that's what I was checking, because I was just going to drop it. Like, Sidney was going to walk over and, like, physically roll it into the hole.
Where is throw?
Third column.
Third column, near the bottom.
All the way down the bottom.
Okay.
If it helps, it's
With
in
advantage.
alphabetical order most of the time. Also, everyone who succeeded takes 3. Actually, it was 2d4 for sanity loss. Yep. So everyone who succeeded takes 3 sanity loss, and the person who failed takes 6 sanity loss.
Oh,
And we'll be back with that shortly. Again.
With that 2, you
That's
successfully drop it into the hole. And as you see the stick of dynamite drop, you see one of the faces instinctively reach out to bite it. And
That's a good time to run.
well, we're going to want to close the pit.
That's a good time to run.
it grabs it, it bites it, it doesn't pierce it. So you see, if you're looking down into the pit, you see this face looking at you with a stick of dynamite inside of its mouth. How long does it take for dynamite to actually explode?
A regular stick, assuming it has a standard fuse, between 6 and 10 seconds.
Okay, so that being said,
These would have a longer fuse because they were meant to be like we could actually get the heck out of dodge, but I would still say probably no more than 30 seconds at the most.
I would have lit it closer to the base because this is a shit and get situation.
Sydney's doing it at the edge to drop it in, and then was going to try and get somebody to help her close the pit
okay,
so
well,
that we don't level the
Alejandro's-
block.
Yep. Well, that means it's your turn next because you're Alejandro grabbed that. I would also say if you wanted to move action, you can move. Now, Alejandro,
Okay.
since you've dropped it, you can now start running the hell out of dodge.
How far can I walk?
You, what's your movement? 9?
Hold on. It's always a question.
Look in combat, should be up there.
Alright, combat. 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can move 9 meters in this turn.
Okay.
Sydney will do the same thing. Is it just, again, throw with a bonus die?
It is, however, are you going to yell out any instructions to anybody else?
Honestly, yeah, I think Sydney would yell on the idea of close the pit, don't just run.
Okay.
And- But that's the extent of it. If you guys are running, Sydney will just stay. Sydney will just be the one to close it on her own.
It is
I
tempting.
don't know what others do.
Oof, well, I'm in trouble. Nope. Like, this is why I wanted to roll it, because I'm not throwing it. I'm literally going to the edge and, like, holding my hand out and dropping it.
You reach out to it,
Mhm.
and you drop it, and you see that she goes in one of the mouths.
Huh. That could be a problem. Oh well. He'll move back over to the
And the
crankshaft
last you
and
hear is the
Yep.
dynamite sizzling out, as in the mucus and the saliva of the creatures put out the dynamite. Okay, so that's Sydney's turn. What is Jack doing?
Closing the hole.
Okay.
I know dynamite's bad.
Yeah. So you would have seen the way that Sydney pushed the rod into the lock-in mechanism of the device of the stone.
I was there helping take it off.
So
So
you'll know how to unclasp it. Okay, so that's fine. So at this point, Sean, my brain's not working today. Sean, you can actually take your turn to successfully dodge out of the way of it. So I'm not going to punish you since you're next. So as Jack pulls the pipe from the lid, you see it starting to rush down, and it almost fully closes, but the creature's just that little bit outside of it. And okay, so we've specified that it's a large item enough to kill a person. I'm going to make it roll a strength check to see how bad it is, how much of it stays up. On a critical success, it's going to be half. On success, it's a quarter. On anything else in the fail, it's a full close. Okay?
Yep.
And I would say that the device itself is 100 strength. So it's 100. It's a contest roll 100 between 180. Because this, so I'm going to do this quickly. I'm going to drop it down to an 80.
How if the rock is requiring that much of a pulley system, how heavy is it to lift?
It's extremely heavy.
Okay.
I'm saying that the rock itself has 100. The Jakota has 180. However, the stone was covered in warding runes, so the creature couldn't get close to it.
Fair enough.
Lift it off. That's what we're doing. But with the opposed strength roll, there is going to be other things happening. So extreme success, half of it is out. But it actually takes 1d8 damage from the runes on it by itself. This is happening on Jack's turn, by the way. So it takes 2 hit points of damage. Not by the weight of the item, but by the runic symbols carved into it.
But it got an extreme success?
Yes, it did. So half of it's still out. So it looks very comical, like a big, giant eldritch monster with a top hat. A fascinator. But you see it recalling, you hear it screaming. And it's also going to do wails of the Chakota. Automatically affects everyone, can hear its moans, weeping and shrieking, provoking a sanity roll for 1d6 loss of points when hearing it for the first time.
Oh.
So everyone...
Yep.
Yep. We'll come back to, actually, for the amount of sanity you've lost in the last day...
Give me more.
Okay.
For the last day, this is 2 sets of 6.
Yes.
In the last half an hour. Plus whatever's from this too.
Yeah.
To be clear, by the way, when I get the Cthulhu mythos, I only lose maximum sanity, right? No.
Yes.
Actual sanity.
Now, I've been doing a lot of work on that stuff. So I need to inform you about max sanity, because the way that Roll20 works, its sanity roll, is that if your sanity is 60 at the start of the day, it's weird. It's the way sanity roll works in Roll20 is your max sanity is your base. So if you have 60 sanity max and 60 sanity there, Roll20 uses that to calculate your temporary insanity and indefinite insanity. So if your max sanity is 99, but you're currently at 60, it's weird. I've been trying to just work this out in my own head for a lot of stuff. But just be aware that the auto calculation on max sanity and indefinite sanity may not work if your max sanity is set to 99.
Which
It's a Roll20. It's a Roll20 thing.
But yeah, so Sidney failed. That's the first. Like, I only lost the 3 sanity though from before. So
Okay, Karsh, you lose 1 sanity because it's 1 to 1d6.
13.
Phoenix, you lose 1 sanity, and Sidney and Shane.
well, the professor got a critical got a critical fail, unfortunately, with the 99.
Wait, come on, wait, come on. It doesn't say critical failure or anything like that. It's a 99, not 100. Oh,
Anything over a 98 is a critical fail.
You both lose 5 san.
Which means we both get to make intelligence checks.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
I get to make 2.
Yes, you do. I forgot about that. It's always that.
Yep. So on the bright side, Sidney is done this campaign regardless, but Sidney might be dying in a tragic accident. All 3 of us succeeded on our intelligence checks.
Oh, Karsh failed it.
1 and passed the other.
And then hard success on the second.
Okay,
I
so
come here on Indiana Jones, I'm gonna get out of here a Joker.
So I would say that failure was for the first roll, so you didn't lose that initial set of points. But however, you succeeded the second check, which means you still lose 5 sanity, not the amount of sanity. However, Eon, does he still have to do another temporary insanity, or is that under the threshold still?
No, because
I've lost 13 in the last, say, half an hour of gameplay.
So it's more at this point for how the sanity works. Like, it's starting to get messy.
Yeah.
Let me double check at what time you start having more permanent effects, because he's lost more than 10 in a day.
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's part of the problem.
So he would have to get a phobia or a mania, depending on what's the rolls later.
Give me just 1 second.
Sorry about this. Sanity checks and sanity rolls are a very big part of Call of Cthulhu. However, at some points they do get messy, so we always check to make sure, so we don't make a major effect for our players.
I'm okay.
Okay. So what was your starting sanity, Karsh, for today?
80.
80? Then you're okay.
I'm at 67 now.
But the thing is, you've lost 13 as soon as you lose 16, because it's a fifth of your starting sanity of the day.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you lose 3 more points of sanity, you go into indefinite insanity. And what that means is that essentially MLP gets to decide what happens to Jack for it, but mostly the indefinite insanity just means something starts going wrong for the rest of the quote-unquote day. So until we basically get you to a therapist.
That's okay. I've got an outfit on the way.
You have 3 sanity left to lose today. Now let's deal with Sean.
Done. Yeah.
Sean. Sorry, my brain is just not working today.
Nice.
Okay. So, how much sanity have you lost?
I'm glad I ran closer to the exit for all the people who are going a little boink at the moment.
Oh, yeah. So you lost 5. You haven't lost any other sanity. Yeah, so you're fine for the moment.
Wouldn't I get a temporary effect?
Is that on 6 or 5?
6.
Yes.
Is it 6?
I always go on the assumption that's 6. But you've only lost 5 sanity at this point.
Oh, right.
That's right, because he didn't look in the hole in the first place.
Exactly.
I should have a temporary insanity because I've lost 2 sets of 6. I've already had 1. Oh, no, I'm good. I should shut up. Go, do.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I thought it had to do with succeeding on the intelligence check.
Yeah, I passed 1 and failed the other. I'm good.
Yeah, so if you succeed your intelligence check, you understand what's going on. So as you've heard the screams, in your brain, you're just thinking of what could be in that hole, and you have your eyes even more closed as you imagine what could be down there. You haven't seen it, but you know it's not natural. You know it's a blaspheme to your god. And you know if you if you open your eyes, it might be something that you shouldn't see, and still call yourself a man of God. Okay, Jack, and now Sean, if you want.
Sorry.
Yep. Now, how do I add extra things to the turn order?
Just
Like,
add.
Trying to. That's not let me do it. Not as like a stick of dynamite. I'm just trying to work that out.
Make a random token.
Add custom layout. There we go.
Yeah.
So it'll be there we go. And that was dropped at the start of Alejandro's turn, so I'll give it an 89. And we said it's going to be that turn. Okay, sorry about that.
Is that the boom mic that's recording everyone?
No, the boom mic just sits up there. Oh, we actually heard that, Karsh.
Sorry, I should mute when I play with my mic.
Yes, you should. So are you... Roll me a d6, Sean.
D6. My
It's going to go
favorite.
1,
roll.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You run in direction 4, so 1, 2, 3. You start running under. You start running to your left. Are you doing full run? Trying to get away?
I mean,
Because if you open your eyes, you'll be able to see where you're going.
yeah, in a way, yeah. But I was actually about to ask, how far can I crawl?
What's your movement?
My movement is 8.
Okay, you can move 8 meters, 8 yards in one turn.
Yeah. So you said to my left, so I basically go to the wall.
Yeah, you can pretty much go to the wall here.
Oh my! Well,
And
when I hit
as
the
you-
wall, at least I can open my eyes and just kind of
Yeah, we
move
can do that.
along the wall without looking back.
Okay.
And if I could see, well, everybody's close enough to the wall, so I would probably notice at least Alejandro, because I know where the door is more or less. So I would turn and probably see Alejandro by the entrance. And what do I see when I look at him?
Abject terror.
I thought you were brave.
He's done this dance before. He has all the more reason to be afraid.
Okay, so you moved 4 or 5 squares.
That was 5.
You can get to just under Alejandro if you want to move your last couple of feet. Last couple of moves.
All right.
Because I would say that
catch up to him.
you've run into there. Okay. Did Sidney and Jack also run during their turn?
I wasn't given that option.
We never got to that point for it. Sydney used her full movement to drop and then move back to the pulley.
I would say,
basically.
Jack, you used your action to drop it. I would also say that you can move if you want. That's my fault. I didn't give you the option to move.
Can I trip Sydney on the way through?
Yeah.
Opposed deck? Does Sidney see this?
I'm kidding. No,
don't know.
I don't think I. No, I don't think I will.
You won't?
No.
Don't
mean,
joke
that
about
would
that
be-
stuff.
actually-
I would ask you.
Well, actually, he can't use the action like that because that would be an attack action.
Yeah,
Yeah, true, because you don't get
So
one
he's already
attack.
used his
that's
action.
as far as I can get.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's
He's
as far as I
making
can get.
the
You can
bear
get inside
joke.
the thing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So then it's Chakotay's turn. The Chakotay. Not the Star Trek Chakotay. Let's have a look. Just trying to think if there's anything range that it could use. It's already used its Wow's Chakotay. So that's when on first time. Firearms. Right. It's not within range, so it can't do a bite attack. And it's being pushed down by the weight of the stone. It's going to do another strength check. It doesn't move. So the stone is still pushing it down. But again, it takes 1d6 damage from the stone. So it takes another 4 damage. And that's his turn. Alejandro, your turn. What are you doing?
Corran, idiotas. I'm out.
Okay. Second expediency, you get around the corner and you start booking it out. You can make your character move. And so do we decide on 1 turn or 2 turns for the boom?
I was saying 2 turns, but
Okay, so that's fine. So
but I do have to say I don't think Jack or Sidney got their temporary insanities because we both. Well, Jack doesn't need it because he didn't actually have it, but Sidney did lose 5 in insanity and succeed on the intelligence check, so she needs a temporary insanity.
all right. Let's roll that temporary. We're gonna let the dice decide, all right? Temporary insanity. I always figure out which one's the wrong. Bouts of madness, time, bouts of madness. I think it's that one. You have a phobia or something for 3 turns. And we are going to let that roll.
If you had said like that I could not move, that would have been hilarious. Because that is one of the
That's-
options.
That's
Is
why
I'm just
I'm letting the
immobilized.
dice decide, because that's more interesting. You have a fear of fish for the next 3 turns.
Cool.
You know what? You are a local of New York. You see your fishmonger as one of the faces inside of the Chakotay.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
I will justify
But
it.
if it's my turn, then 6.
You can pass through.
And since I haven't done any other action this turn, I'm literally just going to start sprinting, which would
Okay.
give me.
So you double
Which,
move.
just as a note, that's 5 times your movement, so I can move
Oh.
45. So yeah, Alejandro could have done the same thing.
Yes.
Like if you're just sprinting, it's basically 5 times your movement, which basically that puts both of us at the ladder, and potentially up it if MLP will allow that.
Yep. You didn't. Yeah. You get to the ladder, but I say a ladder. Ladder's interaction, so you would have to use your action to
Yeah.
move up the ladder.
Yeah, so that'll be next turn, but.
Oh.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's the same thing can happen for Karsh and the professor. They can both
Yep.
sprint and GTFO.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit ironic that I was the first to try and avoid whatever that was and get out of here, and I'm the only one left inside the room.
Yeah.
What is? It's the nature of the game, I guess.
Nature of Dex.
I mean-
This is.
Not to be horrible for it also, but you were the one closest to and got knocked down, so...
Alejandro's a speedy little thing, so
If it's my go,
Give me a sec.
Yep.
I think so.
I pick up Sean and run.
Return the
Yeah.
favor on your turn. Have him put you down, then you pick him up and carry him the rest of the way.
I say with your build, you can easily do that to the wimpy little book reader.
And if he's
So, yeah.
too heavy, I'll make sure he drops some of those books.
No, no,
Books or your life. Which
No.
one?
no, dude, no.
Life's
Books.
not worth living without books. Oh well, I'll have to just leave you and just. No, I run.
So
You know that.
You both run. Dakota again tries to roll. I would assume that Jack and Sean can get to there with their turns. The Dakota itself, you hear this almighty scream, screech, and sizzle as the stone pushes on this creature. Doing another one of these. Do a strength check to see if it can. As finally the lid pushes down enough, and instead of the almighty bang that you expect to hear, you hear this. Like what happens if you a depth charge, but it's wet and sticky, and it just sounds grotesque and gruesome as the dynamite, which does 4d10 if I saw the damage correct.
So, yeah.
You splooshed the creature.
Yep.
And you still hear, and as you climb up the stairs, grab Loretta, grab Jeana-Mae, and you swear in the back of your head, you hear this, thank you, as you run away.
Ugh, that irks me.
And as you start running through, you see that the manhole covers all have exploded as you pretty much dropped a stick of dynamite inside of the sewer system. So you might have some explanations to happen to Lieutenant Poole as you run through. And I think with that, we are going to take our break as our investigators successfully escape the Chakotay and have legitimately destroyed the cult of the Bloody Tongue in New York City.
And the sewer system.
No, we did check that the 20-foot pit, because that was something before. Sidney was told by the explosives expert that if the pit was about 20 feet deep, that it would not destroy too many important systems.
Crazy explosive expert.
Oh, was it 25? I don't know. I don't know what I say half the time.
It could have been 35. I can't remember. We'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Numbers are a problem.
To the chemist. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be back shortly. Stick around. Warning, creepy music when we come back from the break. We'll be back soon. See ya.
Bye.
And we're back.
Thank you
Hi.
for joining us.
They escaped. They escaped the Chakotay, destroyed the Bloody Tongue, and gave all the plumbers in New York City's work for at least weeks to come.
Yeah.
Well done.
But most importantly, we got the book.
Yes, they have a book.
What horrible secrets will we uncover? We will find out.
Yes, and you actually get a lot. I'm actually looking at the conclusion section of this book. You are going. There's a lot of interesting stuff there.
And a lot of insanity loss. Yay.
I'll
no
have time to
sanity
read.
gain.
Oh. Anyway, we escaped from the explosion out of Harlem.
Yep.
Where
I would say as you're escaping, you run across the car with Lieutenant Poole, and he flags you over.
Not good. Sydney's on the wheel. Do you?
Oh, Sidney will slow down. Roll down the window.
Fuck.
Good evening, officer.
Yes. Could you explain this? And Lieutenant Poole is just pointing towards the manhole cover that flew 10 feet away from the hole, and the almighty stench of poop.
So apparently the cultists were absolute morons, and their decided booby trap was to leave dynamite in a pit that whenever we opened it, it lit the fuse, so then we had to run.
Roll me deception check, please.
it's a bit of extreme. I'll try to give a bonus here. It's a bit of an extreme booby trap, but it's not that dissimilar to stuff we'd used in the war. So they could have been
Okay, I'm just trying to find Lieutenant Poole's character sheet.
Do I get the bonus die for that?
With the assist, yes.
No, doesn't help.
I would like
38.
to note that I still don't know what was in there, and nobody has told me. I have no idea why a TNT was necessary.
If you want, Sidney will tell you.
Later. We have time.
In exquisite detail, we can rehash it for you.
Yeah, after a shower maybe.
Persuade. Oh, so you're on. Okay, so you're on Persuade, are you?
Yes.
Okay, so we pose Persuade against their 30.
Ha.
Right. You know we're going to send investigators over there to just have a look around.
Which is fair?
Because what we're doing is we're just investigating why a house of business, well-established house of business of New York City, has gotten raided by gangsters and rumbled, and it's part of an investigation into Captain Robson. And what we find is what we find.
Yes, there is a box down there that you'll probably find very interesting. It's full of sentimental valuables that I think you'll find line up to a series of murder victims of the last several years.
There was about 35 of them, so you say each person would have had a ring or something unique about them.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I'm going to get them to roll law.
Can I spend 2 luck?
You can spend 2 luck to make it a success, yes.
I was tempted to ask something similar.
You spend 2 luck and you... Lieutenant Poole, there's a reason why they're a lieutenant. They take a few moments and then you say, items of interest, solve cases.
Yeah.
And then as you say that, it tweaks in Lieutenant Poole's head. Oh.
I'm sure 35 murder cases being solved by you personally would be amazing.
Yep.
Which may excuse the the torrents of turds.
And to be fair, I do believe that you could possibly link that even back to maybe somebody on Robson's crew failing to do something with the bomb squad.
Well-
There's a nice convenient patsy right there. Or if you really need me to pay for the cleanup efforts, I have people on. I'm sure I can find a contractor who's looking for work.
Either way, thank you.
Of course. Personal
Thank you.
advice: whenever you do go investigating, what was? Is there anybody else in the car with him? I'm going to ask.
I would say that the beat, he would have gotten out of the car and come over to your truck.
Yeah, no, that's. They did some very horrific ritual down there that we found. Make sure you have people with strong stomachs whenever they go in, because you would not believe me on the real reason that there was dynamite, but there is definitely something horrible went on down there, and we don't know the full story.
Do they have a cult or a mythos? No, they don't.
No.
Okay,
Sydney's just going to say that they were probably crazy. That's her honest explanation. They did something crazy, and there was some very horrible things done to people down there.
Okay. All right, they actually have 5 in a cult, which is base. I'm gonna let them roll. I am a decent God-fearing man. If anything is down there, I know that they'll protect me.
Best of luck, officer.
And to you. Now, if I need to talk to you directly about what happened to get evidence of that, will you still be in town, or will you be? I assume the rest of you will be
I will be in town, yes.
incommunicado for a little bit while we do our investigations. Anyway.
I will be around. I still have a shop to manage. If you need to talk to me directly, you can call the shop and we can arrange a meeting.
Of course. Until we see each other again.
Yes.
And actually waves a hand, and then the barricade is done to be removed. To a whole new set of problems in York City. And as you drive,
As you drive, I was like, it probably wasn't good to tell the policeman that, like, they were stitching all those people that they kidnapped together into like one big thing, and we had to use the dynamite to put it down.
That's why I tried to say that it was the cult who did the dynamite, but
I tried to help it.
no, and you did.
I don't think he was in the war. He doesn't understand like booby traps and things like that. People sneak into the trenches and stuff.
But
I'm
regardless,
just quickly checking their information to see if they were in the war. No, just homicide detective in the area. So yeah. So, where are you heading off to? Back to the Waldorf or somewhere else?
I'm pretty sure the Waldorf, just because.
Luxury. Are we going to talk in? Have a late dinner, or are we going to go upstairs and like? Oh.
At this point, Loretta speaks up and says, "Well, if we're leaving the country, I better go and look after my shop. So I will see you tomorrow morning at the Waldorf or somewhere else."
The Waldorf. Just come to my room.
Oh, so fresh. And
It's very
leaves the
forward,
car.
isn't he? Oh well. Don't forget the tutus. And maybe something for like warmer climate.
Yes, yes, well, I will bring the basics, and if I need anything else, I'm sure that there'll be a store along the way where you can pick up what I'm missing.
Maybe a parasol or two.
Okay. you make it to the Waldorf, up to Alejandro's room, and for the first time, as long as you can remember, you can actually get a moment to breathe.
And a shower.
Yeah, first thing, I take a cold shower.
Are you fighting each other for the shower?
No,
I ain't fighting
I'm assuming
anyone.
there's probably 2 in here since it is the.
It's the
master
Waldorf.
suite.
It's a suite up there. You assume there'll be 2 or 3 different toilets and shower rooms.
Yeah. Presidential suite.
Yes.
Don't know why the president needs multiple toilets, but hey.
Multiple people.
Depends what they flush down the toilet.
It's a good point. Should never
That's a
know.
good point.
So, what are we doing now? We've dealt with the bad guys. Does this mean we go home?
I thought that was pretty clear. We were all washing ourselves. Not together, of course, but you know.
I will say that it's because Sydney's just sitting back. Like she'll clean up whenever she goes back home. But I mean, you could. There's nothing tying you there. I'm going to be staying here, but I do believe that there are still people who are related to this business around the globe. There were a few other places Jackson was investigating, and it would not surprise me if there are more cultists like this out there.
For
Also-
my part, I believe I am going to follow the Carlisle steps. Africa.
Well, I got work over in Africa.
And there's, I have a contact who might be able to help you there. Alejandro knows of him now too, Mr. Singh. He's had quite a record over there, but
My other business partner.
Oh, that's where I shipped the punt gun too. At least we're going to be armed.
yes. Oh, speaking of, let me know before you're heading out, Jack, because I'll make sure you have a few more bullets for that big rifle you brought tonight. I know that you had to use some, and there's not a lot in the
Oh
box.
yeah, elephant gun. It's. I'll say one thing. What they said when they told me in the war they were using it against the snipers with like the tank plates to protect them, and like it does the job. I shot through the wall with that guy, and he was pissed. Like right through the wall, like straight through. Oh man, that guy was pissed. But they don't really sell them on the street, as in the rounds on the street. So that we might need to get some if we're going to Africa. We could go hunting. Alejandro, you want to go hunting in Africa?
I have done it before. But
Well,
I am more interested in getting to this village that the Carlyles.
well,
I want to follow the Carlisle trail.
I just thought like I've got stiffs up in England that could like buy anything that we hunt in Africa. They pay good money.
Oh.
Even more so if they do it themselves, but they can't shoot for crap.
All right. So
That was
if
often my business as well.
Yeah.
Just taking those rich yahoos out there.
Yeah, foxes maybe they're okay with, but nothing really in the wild. Wow, I'd love to go fox hunting with this elephant gun. That would really spook the locals in England.
So, from the basement, we got a bowl, some lion's claws, a skin. The professore got a book, and a little tiara. Oh, and the head.
We have 2 masks.
yes,
Also, Sidney is keeping her rod that she found at the surface in the Juju house. She didn't
The
present
scepter.
that item before.
Scepter.
Yep.
Scepter,
Oh,
yeah.
Can I have taken like a sword or spear on the way out? I really wanted one on the way in.
roll me a luck check to see if
Oh.
you're smart enough to get one.
Does it have to be a luck check? Can't roll
Yeah.
education
What
is
else
like
could
4
you roll?
times my luck at the moment.
What else could you justifiably roll to pick up a weapon on the way out?
Thievery?
As you're being chased by an eldritch monster,
We just blew up.
which you just blew up. But you had to
Which
get
is
out of there
another thing
before
you
the
were
time.
running from, the explosion.
So explain how you could use something else.
Luck
to get
is
something.
probably the only
Then
thing.
luck then.
Oh, I have so little luck.
I gave you a choice.
Yeah, I have so little luck. I've got 5 luck. So if you donate to the channel, every $1 can donate D6 luck to a player.
How do you still have less luck than Sydney? Sydney has 8.
Last week.
Just have to say last week
Last
and you're golden.
Yeah,
Things went
I
bad.
mean, fair enough.
Yeah. Or if you subscribe to the channel, everybody gets a chance between either D6 luck or D6 sanity. Because that's going down.
My
To,
luck is still hot, is still not my lowest trait yet.
that's not good. And I know what luck you. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I will spend the time drawing the artifacts that we got and sketching them.
Well,
Now-
Sydney's going to do something a little bit crazy while everybody's washing up. Is she will put on the mask that has the 4 heads on it.
Beat me to it. I was going to do it.
Okay. Out of the both of you, roll me.
Luck.
Are you going to both put this on the same time?
I don't think we can.
No, you get both-
It's only one.
Are you going to
No, no.
try to reach for it at the same time? Or
Sydney's
how do you
carrying
want to
it.
do this? Okay.
Yeah, Sydney's carrying it, so Sydney would be able to do it first. Although I may try on the other one while they're putting on the big one.
Yep.
All right.
What do I have to do?
We just close that sheet.
Oh, just yeah.
Okay.
Because we love our keeper.
I am not your friend.
I know.
I should just. I have a design done up for that. I should print it up and use it for streams. All right. So, as you put the mask on, there are no straps, ties, or hand. Nothing holds it to your face. But as soon as the mask is placed over your head, the collar around it starts to constrict around the face and holds it tightly in position. And you start to groan and scream as it starts to choke you. Is anyone else trying to get the mask off you? Or are they letting you do it?
Who's been choked? Sydney.
Sydney.
Yep.
It's like, hey, I will. Let's try to untangle that choking then.
Roll me.
Did anybody tell her not to do that?
No.
Okay, that's 15 seconds.
So,
I'm
that's
doing
what
it.
I'm saying to undo the choking.
Yeah,
thing.
you would try and do that. So, the
Hell.
it sounds it feels like the mask constrains to the head, the eyes, and everything starts to bring in and pretty much chokes you even more. So your eyes behind the mask expand like someone's drops in it to do a test, and all you see is the blackness of your eye.
Can I get a chance to do this? I've said that I'm trying to stop.
No, you
No?
can try. You can try do a strength check.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You're adding seconds to this every time you say
Yeah.
this, but I said it well.
No, you can't do it. You can't lift it off the person. You pretty much start to rip it off, and as the mask starts to pull off, red starts to come up as you're pulling skin off.
Help, please.
Just so you know, the wearer cannot remove the mask, and neither can anyone else pull it free.
Mhm.
So the more that you pull off, the more damage you're going to do to Sydney.
So how many hit points am I lost from that?
I'll say
That was an extreme success.
I would say 3.
Sounds good.
Help?
Okay, now let's have a look.
Use your blessed.
Does Sidney need to
machine.
do anything?
Roll me 1d4, please. Oh, joy. Okay. I think yeah, you're not gonna like this. Okay, it's must feel you feel your eyes blink,
Mhm.
and then as you open them, you see what looks like a big giant globes of light massing around the creature. I'm just trying to find the exact description of this. Best way to think about it is a giant pulsating blob with tendrils and other blobs outside of it. And you're in outer space. It is horrible. It is insane. And you are looking on the visage of Yogg-Sothoth.
Hi.
Yes.
No, honestly, at this point, this is going to sound really, really horrible. Sidney's sitting here with like I have had Hypnos in my head. I have had Nyarlathotep in my head. It's just getting crowded with the number of Eldritch entities that have been in her head. So it's just like, right?
All right, roll me
hello?
a sanity check.
Oh yeah. It's not going to go well, but yes.
All right, I'm going to read this. The wearer must make a sanity roll to determine their fate. Sanity roll success is 1d100 sanity points. Sanity roll failure is 1d100 sanity points.
It's 1d10, I think, for success, right?
No, I'm checking the book on this one.
I've worn this before.
Hi. Well, regardless, a failure was a failure, so.
Yeah, no, and
I actually need to make a notice for something else, just to make sure that I've got this information correct. You are correct. I was wrong. It's 1d10 sanity loss. So I need to adjust that on my other form. So use 1d100.
Yep.
Now, would you like to roll a d100?
sure.
What's your current sanity?
45.
How much?
That's all.
45.
That's all of it. And then
That's all of it.
Sidney's. So, permanent insanity. How that works?
Didn't you gain that much mythos at the same time?
Yes.
No.
Typically.
If the wearer survives it with their sanity intact, the first time each god is viewed through the mask increases the wearer's Cthulhu mythos by 1d10 points. In addition to any Cthulhu mythos gained through insanity. So yes, you are correct.
So basically what happens with this is you get to choose kind of how, but probably Sidney just goes, at this point, catatonic. They're not. They're gone. They're in an asylum. They might get their sanity back. They might not.
Yeah. So for this, I would say that nothing outwardly visible is shown to the rest of your party. You would, after about 30 seconds, the dice is actually not the dice. The mask is going to release, and anyone who looks at Sidney right now sees less of a person and more of a haunted figure.
That's me. Guys!
Alejandro's standing right there with you.
Anyone trying to do a move to... What is Sidney doing right now, knowing what's going to happen to you and that you are holding on by the thinnest of threads?
Question for Keeper.
Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe about what you liked about today's episode.
And if you're not watching us live because you're on YouTube, I have just posted in chat on live that I actually have put that mask on before in a different campaign. I didn't realize it until you said that number in the description.
Then, if just checking with the Keeper, before basically, like, as there is light feeding her eyes, she is handing shakily, like, Alejandro or whoever's there, probably Alejandro because that's the one she trusts the most, a very thin notebook.
Okay, he'll take it.
Okay, and as you take the notebook, is Sidney...
I'm going to assume Sydney's just, like, going to sit there and, like, recess into herself.
Okay, so Sydney's not trying to get out of the room, but she's going to go catatonic on the couch.
The worst fate I can imagine is Sidney trapped in her own head. There's a lot of nasty stuff in there.
I saw, like, Nerfsy do this, like, a few times, and I just slept.
You get no reaction. You get a reaction from Sidney, but it's the redness of the slap on your skin. Unless you guys got anything else to want to describe.
Sidney, I'm just going to mark down an extra health point off that, because Jack is very strong.
Yes.
Inside
so was Mercy.
Jack has a build of 2.
So did Mercy.
Fair enough. Inside of the little notebook is essentially, for lack of a better term, it's a contingency plan that is not quite an asylum, but a mental health, the equivalent of the time psychiatrist and a care plan for her to be taken care of should she lose her mind to whatever these horrors are.
That was exactly what Alejandro was about to do anyway, so all right. He'll walk over to the phone and start dialing some numbers.
Yep. There's contacts both within her own organization and within.
Is there like a secret code word that has to be said to explain exactly what happens? Like you don't trust the phone system because it can be listened in on. So I would say you would have like words like Sidney wants a cake, and that means that Sidney needs help.
Probably in this case, just for the nice irony of it, Sidney lost her mask.
Bravo. And
Yay.
And does Alejandro say that to the person on the phone?
That's what the notebook tells me to do. Then yes, I will announce Sidney has lost her mask.
Oh dear. Well, we'll send a cowboy to pick them up, where are you right now?
Waldorf,
We'll send
the
the
president.
cowboy to try to find the mask. When we find the mask, where are you again? The Waldorf, did you say?
Waldorf, presidential suite.
Oh, it's related to that, is it?
In
Fair
Mr.
enough.
Garcia.
Yes. I will send the cowboy to pick them up. I'll send the cowboy along with our other few people to pick them up, and hopefully we'll find the mask for Miss Tyson. Thank you for letting us know. And the phone is hung up. And I think now that we've actually changed what exactly is going to go on, we are going to wrap up the stream here. What? I can't hear you, Karsh.
I'm trying to force feed aspirin pills. So I've got medical wise.
We'll go get some laudanum. Don't worry about it.
I mean,
Who's gonna buy
I'm
it
going to
down on
say
the
that out of
floor?
all the characters to put on the mask in the group, this was probably the best person to have that happen to.
Yes. Now, as we finish our scene, we have a catatonic Sidney in the Waldorf. A person who they called the cowboy is coming to pick them up and potentially might stick around to see what happened to their boss, or we don't know yet. But that is our game for today. How did everyone go? That's our game. We're not finishing yet. We are going to spend some time dealing with all the end of campaign stuff, end of modules, end of section stuff that we need to take care of.
Right now, live?
Yeah, we're going to do it live.
Okay, cool. That helps. What music do you want? Swinging it?
Yeah, we'll go and swing it.
Swing,
Okay.
swing.
But that was the music for the funeral.
Yes.
I like that one. It's fitting too.
Okay. For your information, Eon, any sanity gains that you get for this one, you can transfer it onto the cowboy.
Yeah.
So please just make a note of this.
Will do.
And I totally, that was the mask I put on a different campaign.
That's
It's only the description of the outer is like, and then the D100 sanity loss, I'm like, that's the one I've done before. I lost 4, I think, something like that, in the D100.
Yeah. The scary thing is,
Really bad.
if you succeed that mask, you get 1d10 to your Cthulhu mythos, as well as the sanity loss that you get due to insanity.
Yeah.
It's a great mask. If you don't roll, if you don't roll a 4.
Yeah. Well, it's a great mask if you roll a 4 in the amount sanity you do lose.
Yeah,
Which is
if
what
you
I
succeed your
get.
sanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's be honest, if I had rolled within 8 of my sanity, it would have been a good roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
But let's get to
Alright.
what are we doing?
Okay,
Keep it
so
okay.
first
I
off,
want to share the relevance of the book because I
yep.
kept talking about the book and I didn't elaborate. It is the dark sects of Africa. Sects, SECTS. And
Didn't
it
do
can
my
be-
joke. Go.
it can be quite convenient for us if we're heading into Africa because it is a rather anthropological account of certain experiences had by the author, who does have a name, but is not a person anybody knew. However, because of that, it is mostly dismissed as literature because it's like something came up with that, passed it off as anthropology, and that's it. Sold copies. However, given the gruesome nature of the content, the book itself was prohibited and sought after for destruction. Only 13 copies are said to remain, of which this is one.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm looking through my information about travel. Since you're going from, journey times, you are going from the USA to Kenya, So
And I
it's
would
gonna
like to take the time to read a book, of course.
Yep, it's going to take 30. Phoenix, how good is the boat that you've brought over?
It's
a
an
cargo.
ocean...
It's a cargo ship, isn't it?
Yep, it's an ocean cargo ship.
Okay, so I would say 34 days is how long it's going to take to get from New York to Kenya. You happy with that? Cool. So I mean 34. Okay, so your book has got a mythos rating 6 weeks.
Also, since I'm not fresh out of the shower, I don't have to be wearing.
I saw the costume change.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if that's the only thing you're doing on the boat, by the time you land in Kenya, you get the book. So you can add another 4%. You can add another 2% to your mythos. Actually, 4%. And you get a spell.
Wait.
You
Repeat
get
again,
initial.
please.
You get initial reading of the book, which is your first 2, and as you finish your reading, you get another 2.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So, since your mythos is on the 30, you get the full bonus of it, and you'll get a spell from that, which I'll link you to later. It's probably one you're never going to use, but it's going to be hilarious for your character. All right, so we are going to Kenya next. Is that correct?
Somewhere
guess,
in
yeah.
Africa?
Yeah, you're going to
Probably
Africa.
Kenya.
Egypt.
Yeah, because
I think-
Egypt is kind of in the past right now. You know, we don't have any clues that point directly to there, and we are going after the Carlisles. Then we have, Congo only showed up because of the mask, but it was just the mask itself, which might have been, put out of context by the people at the Juju House. However, Kenya, again, is where the Carlisle expedition disappeared, and it is obviously closely related to finding this book because it talks about the dark sects of Africa, and we know there's clear evidence that connects the Carlisles to some sort of cultist action in the area.
Okay, so first off, you succeed in a lot of the check marks of the section. So you get 1d6 sanity points for solving Jackson Lars's murder. So you get, I'm actually going to calculate this. You get 1d4 sanity for exonerating Hilton Adams.
We're doing what?
For exonerating
the-
Hilton. This is all the things we succeeded over this journey, and these are the rewards for that.
Nice.
So you get 1d2 for exposing Robson as a corrupt cop. So roll d4 and halve it. So you get 1. That's 1. If Madunga is neutralized, grant his investigator 1d6.
I think the headshot was...
Yep. If cultists have been broken up or eliminated, yes.
several more headshots. And dynamite.
Milton Adams didn't die. Hilton Adams didn't die. You've defeated a Chakota, so that's 1d10.
Which
Did-
defeated
So it was not just a fumble.
You defeated 4 Simbas, so that's 4d8.
Wow.
Ah, damn it.
Too bad we could have done this before.
Yeah.
Before City put on the mask.
Ignore that -1. I'm just doing it as a default roll. So you get another 16, so you're up to 32. No hunting horrors. And yep, you all get 48 sanity to work with.
I need a calculator.
I maxed out my sanity because it has
Anything
been
that
lowered.
maxes out, I would say that you can then progress it to luck.
Oh, thanks. That's 3 more luck.
Okay. I'm gonna say this ahead of time, MLP, just for that option because that might be very, very, very generous. My character starts with 90 sanity,
Yeah.
so that becomes 39 points of luck.
Yeah, no. You roll.
That's why
luck.
I was going. I
Yeah.
think it's okay if I max out my sanity, but then leave it alone. So
Yes, I'll let that go through.
yes.
All right, so you all get 48 sanity.
I just figured I'd mention that before we got too far.
Okay. You can all talk to me throughout the week because you have 34 days on the boat to deal with as you see fit. Or you can do that on stream next week. If you have anything you particularly want me to be aware of, please let me know. All right, so now it's improvement phase.
Yes.
Who wants
Waiting
to
for
roll
this.
improvements first?
I can go.
Ah, Drakonyan looks like he's ready to go. So, yep.
I'm all
Now you have
excited about
to
this.
roll above your skill set. So if you have a 50,
Buildable.
you want to fail. And it's 1d10,
Alright.
isn't it? Or 1d6? Eon.
It's 1d10 if you fail.
1d10 if you fail.
Okay, so first, fast talk, which is one you gave me that I could choose, and I
Yep.
chose fast talk. So
Okay.
there we go.
So you get to roll 1d10 on that.
It had a -1 in it. Why?
You have to roll 1d10.
Oh, manually.
Separate.
Okay, sorry.
So you
There
get
we go.
five in that thing, so you go up to 5, not 10. So if you're in chat and that stuff, how did everyone enjoy what we're doing in this section? How did everyone enjoy America?
For me, or
Yeah.
for but I'm looking forward to the Africans rather than the Americans. I like
Mhm.
that's more my style. Like the other locations, America's like very built up and structured. Give
Yeah.
us the wild, something a bit more freedom.
I am proud of us as a player. We did not burn down New York.
We didn't.
You didn't?
We're growing, but also the instigators of that weren't as prominent here because we've
Yeah.
gone through a lot of players. Unfortunately, we're trying.
But that's the players go. That is always players go to is burn it with fire, and we
Yes.
didn't burn down New York.
You exploded the sewage system. Come on.
Well, one of our plans was to flood the place with sewage. So
Yes, it was, and it was a great. When I was looking through everything, I was going, you know what? That is a great plan. And I've actually got information about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Drakonyan done.
Is that all of them?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't succeed on many of my skill checks.
Okay.
Okay,
Should I
so-
do mine?
Karsh, you were-
I'm just going to go through all of them really quickly, and then I'll deal with what I need to do.
Yep.
So we've got archaeology. Okay, that's
Good.
a failure. That's good. Art sketching. Damn, I wanted that want that to go up higher. Charm. I don't know how I've passed this, but apparently
That's probably one of the free checks you got.
could have been. Fast talk. Again. Cool.
Nice.
Brawl. Please fail. Yes.
Oh
no!
no!
Awesome.
Impressive.
You go.
Shotgun. Oh no. Intimidate. Damn.
Ah,
That's the one I haven't improved in 2 sections. Occult. Please do not pass this. Good. It's really hard to get them off the ground with these skills.
Yeah.
Persuade. Cool. Psychology. I've done a lot of these ones. Damn. Spot hidden.
You
And
had marks on all of those.
Yep, and stealth.
yes. Don't forget because. Yeah, no. I'm just trying to think. So, no one really succeeded listen checks. That's fair enough.
No, my listening is really low, and I haven't succeeded one yet.
I did.
It's the auditinitis from the explosions in the wall.
Yeah, but I'll deal with all mine and just like get a number and all of them. Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. So Phoenix.
Okay, dokie.
We're doing this on stream because we want you to see the elation and the disappointment. It's like rolling hit points live on stream. When the hell did you roll accounting?
That was one of the checks that I chose was for accounting.
Okay.
I chose mainly social stuff and accounting.
This is my role for like all the bits. I'm just going to put them in order
Yep. Okay.
because it's just quicker and faster.
Go ahead.
Oh,
There's a lot of
nice.
tens. I just hope the tens are in good ones.
Nice.
That is nice.
Actually, that makes a lot more sense to me doing it Karsh's way too. So
Yeah. It's just speed. That's all.
let me fix accounting and then I'll do that for all the rest.
Yeah.
And when I went through it, I just kept I removed the ticks which I failed or which I succeeded at, and so I know how many I failed at. That's all I did.
Yeah, if that hits a failed, I would have been surprised.
Not bad. Drive order.
Seems
fail.
everybody's getting better at fast talk.
Well, considering for when you're not exploding everything, you tend to try to bullshit your way through things. So fast talk.
Yeah, we do.
And we start
Speaking
with
of
5.
which- Speaking of which, we have to remind Ray to up Loretta as well.
Yep.
Hey,
Is that you done, Alejandro, or?
No, I'm waiting for it. There it goes.
I went for there we go. Rifle and intimidate.
You
you
succeeded
failed
on
to
intimidate.
I mean, you succeeded, but you failed to increase it.
Oh.
I have a lot of checks, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For those also that have never experienced leveling up in Call of Cthulhu, when you succeed in a check in normal play of game, but you haven't had to spend like experience to succeed, you actually get to check that skill. At the end of a section or chapter, etc., you do these level ups and you try to roll again and have to fail. If you fail, great, you get the D10. If you pass, nothing.
Yeah, if you fail, it means you managed to learn something new, like it's beyond your current ability.
Yeah.
In any case,
easy
that reminds me, Phoenix's rolls remind me, when I was attacking with the pistol, should I have marked then the handgun? Because I got
Yes.
one.
If you
Okay.
succeed, you get to, no matter what skill it is, you get to do it.
Okay, in which case
Ooh.
I have to roll handgun here because I haven't. And I failed, which means I increase
Nice.
it by 1d10. Awesome. Oh, maxed out.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Well
All right.
done.
So
I
the
hope I
thing
don't
was
need
gonna-
it.
I was going to
Now.
ask MLP.
Yes.
You had previously said that if Sidney succeeded on anything that the cowboy had less than 50.
Yes.
Because Sidney has, again, 13 skill checks. Like 13 rolls that she would normally have to roll.
Now
But-
you can do that. You can do that off stream if you want.
I was
For
going to say you
cowboy?
can do it now if people wanted to see for it, because I know which ones I can do.
Okay, if you want to do that, then go for it.
That okay with everybody else? I'll just do his improvements right now.
All good.
go for it.
All right.
Right.
So here's going to be one of the funniest ones because Sidney is an art stealer. That if I succeeded, it would have been hilarious.
One in archaeology? Fudge.
That's the base.
I know, but
Right?
still, for anyone related to Sydney, that's insane.
I'm also
Drive
realizing
auto.
that I forgot to mark more of these checks.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. I'll take that.
Let Eon finish their one first, and you can finish up your
Yeah.
checks.
It's not many more, but at least 2 more.
I'm just double checking. Yeah, I didn't pass any of those.
Fail them
You have failed every single one of them. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
I mean, to be fair, everything was low.
Hmm.
And last time, I succeeded on 1 out of 15 with Sidney.
You succeed to
Wow.
fail, fail to succeed.
Failed to I failed to succeed, or I failed to improve them.
Yes.
I got 1 improvement out of 15 last time.
And for every since we said everything under 50, so you had pretty good options here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's all yours. So
Yep. That be me done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8d10.
Yep.
You can add that. And then we'll finish with Drakonyan. And anyone else got anything they want to suggest what's going on to the thing, or anything they want to talk about during the campaign?
Just that I was ready to have my like losing 13 sanity. I was ready to have my character paralyzed and lost in that episode.
Oh yeah, no, if your character was paralyzed and the stone wasn't squishing it under,
Yeah.
you would be numbed.
Yeah, I was totally expecting that. I was like, yep, okay, I got to. As mentioned on Discord, while like on the break, like I was totally expecting that. Like, yep, cool.
So you are good, Draconium, if you want to do your rolls.
Yeah, so it was credit rating. I can also upgrade like this.
Yep.
No, credit rating
No.
can only be upgraded by acquiring wealth.
Okay,
Oh,
so that
and
much
that
is...
is a good question. Does my new business venture in New York create any wealth in LP?
I shall check that.
Yeah, it's not surprising there. All right, so those would be all. Because I remember I did roll a history one at some point, but I think I failed it. I rolled like a 98 or something.
That is. So I'm looking at.
And yeah, the Swahili
character.
one makes sense that I wouldn't learn more about the language just by hearing a random cultist cuss at Sidney.
Actually, you would, because you wouldn't actually understand. Most of your learning, I would assume, is be from books, and I don't think the books would have random swear words translated properly.
In a way, but part of the logic that I improved my listens in character creation is that I have to get used to hearing these nuances in language and phonetics and so on.
So Arthur Emerson has a credit rating of 40.
Is
I would
that
say
it?
you get to. If that's everyone that's here. I would say that since he's a business partner, you get to increase your credit rating by 10. By one fourth of their credit rating.
Okay.
Did I get an improvement in my credit rating because I did a business deal?
What business
I
deal
bought
did you do?
Emerson Imports. That was the difference.
What business
Speaking
deal
of
did
which,
you,
who's
Karsh?
paying me to be
No,
here?
for weapons.
I just realized,
for my.
am I here just out of courtesy? This university paying me to be here?
I will actually mention for part of Sydney's backup thing for it. And this was
I'm
for the people who were lower income, like Jack and anybody else who was not comfortable. She was at least going to give... like, Jack's already got his spent on the punt gun and the elephant gun. But Sydney was going to give some resources. I was going to talk to MLP on what's a fair amount, but...
Yeah, we can disclose that in between sessions. No,
Yeah.
no problem.
I'm kidding.
But you know, who's paying me to be here? The question remains.
Well,
Sure.
did you would have been given a copy of the will? I would assume, Draco. And you would
From
also
Jackson Elias?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you got information. And since
Just
you
to
are
show.
looking into what Jackson has requested, the estate of Jackson Elias is giving you a stipend or a fund
Okay.
to pay for bills and stuff.
Ah,
Yeah, there's a fund to
that
help.
explains it.
A slush fund.
Yeah. Just keep your receipts.
Yeah, there's a slush fund.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. And I think
That's
with that, are we taking next week off, or are we going to go direct into America next week? Oh, Africa.
I don't know.
Would you like a
I'm
week
good to
off,
go next
or would
week.
you like to go next week?
I would like a week off actually because I have a project that I could use the Tuesday for.
Okay. Take a week off
To
then.
be fair, that's when I have 2 exams due as well, so I probably
Okay, so
should.
that gives me 2 weeks to get everyone ready for Kenya and Africa, where we will be potentially running to someone I wasn't expecting you to run into until later on in the campaign. So yay for me!
It will
Someone
be
you've-
awesome.
Some people have already met before. Oh, before I forget, Eon, what's happened to the mirror?
Is that adding to the collection of the masks for us to take?
It is being basically part of the notebook is that all of the magical artifacts that Sydney had when she was done with this, she was giving in like jackets to keep the knife, even before she went catatonic.
I wasn't giving it back.
So,
But by the way, I was going to shoot the thing off your head if need be. If given
Well,
the
that's gonna be
chance, I
fun.
wasn't given the chance to shoot it off
yeah,
your head.
no, I don't think player versus player murder is
No,
going
no,
to be
no.
appreciated.
Shoot the top because like the whole bottom thing was like, but there was like the 3 heads above. That's what I was going to try.
If
to
you
shoot off.
failed the roll, you would have shot Eon's character in the head.
You would have shot Sydney point blank, which would have been messy.
But it's the top, not the bottom. The bottom was the suffocation. It was just the top.
Yeah,
the
if you
figures.
failed,
Oh.
that was going to be the thing. there.
Bonus, aiming and bonus, and hopefully some. Not
Never trust. You've played
Never
Blood
trust the
Bowl. You
dice.
know the rule. Never trust
Never
the dice. Or XCOM. Never trust the roll.
yeah, either way.
Yeah. It did
Anyway,
not
let's
come
wrap
to
it up
that.
there.
It was either that or just try to chop it off with the knife.
It's a Mythos device. I would think about that idea because it's a Mythos knife with Elder signs on it.
Mhm.
It would have an effect against it, so you might be able to cut it off, but the time would have taken
Would be
wouldn't
not
be
enough. No. But that was a possibility. In role playing, there's
Yes.
always a choice, unless you don't have a choice.
Yes.
I mean, Sydney made her choice by putting the mask on, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Oh wait! We didn't play out. So does Alejandro put on the other mask?
After seeing Sydney, nah, he dropped it.
I wonder
You
why.
know what? No. This is a
Take it to
bad
Mount
idea.
Doom. Destroy it forever. Throw it into the fire.
And also to let people know, I am still a relatively new keeper, so I do ask questions just to make sure everything goes on. But I also do play a bit more loose with the rules to keep the story going, just to let people know about how we run this game. So I'm always happy to accept criticism about how I do it, but also I don't want to spend 20 minutes trying to find one rule just to make sure everyone's correct.
Yeah.
On the
And-
off chance that people in the chat and YouTube say, "Oh, he didn't do this right." Just let people know this is how we do our games. Here at Goblin Cave TV, do tend to favor roleplay over rules.
And if it's about my character, I'd rather my character just like be dealt
If
with,
you had-
and we move
yeah.
on. That's
If
just
your
my plan.
character had an option, you would just kill your character every episode and just have a whole new character.
No, not really, but just it's happened recently a lot.
Yes.
It's happened recently a lot. Last week was insane for all the other shows.
Yes.
Let's
The
do
week,
out.
the,
We have to
yeah,
outros.
the week of TPKs.
It was. Miss LiveProducer, seeing you all talking, who you are, what do you do, all the bits and pieces.
I am MrLiveProducer. I do live video production, roleplay, VR content, other sort of stuff that I can't talk about on stream, but I really, really want to.
Yet.
I really want to say what I've been working on, but I can't yet. And yeah, you can catch me on Twitch or twitch.tv when I'm streaming, or here every Wednesday and Thursday mornings, local Australian time.
Mhm.
Yay!
Phoenix.
Hi, I am Phoenix. I have been playing Alejandro Garcia, the fastest little munch amongst the group. Throw dynamite, run. If you're looking for me, you will find me here. And that's about it.
Okay. Sydney. So, Eon.
Hello, I am Eon, who That was not the way I expected Sidney to get retired, but it was an interesting way to go. And you can find me over at Eon Victory on twitch.tv or on YouTube, where I play various games. So if you're interested, stop on by. It's mostly just quiet.
Okay. Drakonyan.
Hi, I'm Drakonyan. I'm a professional dungeon master, and I have been playing Professor Sean McEoghan in this here campaign to feel a little of what I make my players feel, I guess, because it has been a very traumatizing experience in the best possible way. And my character is now, I think, learning how to keep fantasy to the books and not have it face to face, especially because fantasy here is horror. And I'll leave it at that.
But fantasy is fun. Hi, my name's Karsh Goblin. I do this and I love this channel. And we have more stuff on the channel. We're just trying to put on as many shows as possible, having fun and just being as stable as possible with the shows. Tomorrow we've got D&D. The other night I put someone through their very first role-playing game, running the Alone Against the Flames game, and they loved it, and I messed with the head with the Syrinscape. So check out Syrinscape. Syrinscape is amazing, and if you have never played Call of Cthulhu before, check out the beginner box. It has the Alone Against the Flames solo quest, and also how to do the game and all the bits and pieces, how to get started. Call of Cthulhu is one of those amazing games which are really easy to jump into and just to play or to even run. So we're going to be raiding someone familiar to the channel. We're going to be raiding McEoghan TV today. It's the first time I've actually seen them doing their live stuff. I know they do live stuff, but I haven't been able to see them when we're live. And so share the love. Our hearts are warm and fresh. That's our raid key. I'll put it in chat as always. And thank you everyone for coming in. We'll be back tomorrow and next week. Well, not for this one for next week, but we'll be back for the other shows next week as well. So, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Wait, I never get this thing done. How about I do this first and then all say goodbye? You don't have to say goodbye again, but I never do this part first. I need to do this part first. I'm an idiot.
You said it, not me.
There we go. Now I can go.